Welcome to Robin's Roost. Today I'm going to share a card that I shared on my blog about a month ago. So around July 29th, I think is when I shared it. And I didn't do a video on it. And I did have someone ask, they said they couldn't figure out how to make it from my directions on my blog. So I promised I would do it, and it's taken me a month. That's embarrassing. But it's summertime and I have a huge yard and I'm a gardener and we've been doing some camping. So, the dog ate my homework, right? All my excuses, but I didn't forget. I finally did do it. So anyways, this is a card that my friend Sandy had showed me, and it uses the Take to the Sky Designer Series paper and the Adventurous Air dies. And it's kind of a fun, it does like a flippy thing. And you can actually use it as an easel card. It'll stand up. I can't set it on the desk here and show you, and it'd been so long since I'd made it that I followed my directions. I did make it a little bit different on this card. I didn't use dies on these center cuts, but you could use dies. I just cut these down with a trimmer. But anyways, let us flip the camera and I will show you, and hopefully that will help. Sometimes seeing is a lot easier than reading the directions. So let's start with the paper that you're going to need to make this card. So it's just a standard card base that we're going to start with. So this is 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. And then we need 2 pieces of Designer Series paper, and I am using the Take to the Sky. So these are both 4 by 5 1/4. One's going to go on the outside of the card, one on the inside. And then for the inside, we need a piece of white that we're going to use for signing, right? And this one is 4 inches by 2 3/4, and that'll go right on the inside. Then we have our airplane, which I've already die cut. So you're going to use 2 colors, one for the base. This one is Night of Navy, and then one for the wings and the engine. And this is Smoky Slate. And I've also got, I like to use these old embellishment cases. You can see I had hat bands in it at one time, but when I die cut these airplane wings for class, I did a whole bunch of them. So I've got extras. And I keep them in there because they're such tiny little pieces, they end up lost. Then I need our mechanism that's going to sit on the inside. And this is 3 by 4 inches, and then it's scored at 1, 2, and 3 inches. So we're going to make a little box with this. Just going to fold it up and make a box. And then we have our little flapper piece. This is going to make our piece swing a little bit more. And this one is 3/4 of an inch by 2 inches, and then scored at 1 inch. So let's get adhering our pieces. So we'll just go ahead and fold our base. And then when we adhere our outside piece, we want to adhere it only around the edges because we're going to die cut in the middle. And I usually just put a little strip on the corners and then on the sides. And with the Stampin' Seal Plus, I don't have any trouble with it letting go. You do need to burnish it down good. And then we're going to put this on the inside. And now if you wanted to stamp something on the inside, you could do that now before you put it on, in case you need to flip it over. But I'm actually going to leave this just blank for a handwritten message. Now we're going to go die cut a rectangle out of here, and I'm going to use one of the deckled rectangle dies. And this is, I think it's the 4th one from the largest, but if you don't have the deckled rectangles, you could use any rectangle die. And it's about 4 by 2 3/4. So I will be back in a minute. We're going to do both layers. So here we have our cutout pieces. Oh, and I got a little bit of glue too close on the edge there. That's where your handy glue eraser comes in, or your glue eraser comes in handy. We'll just pick up that glue with the eraser. And the sticky is all gone. Now, on my previous card, I actually die cut this down to the next size, but I actually thought it was a little bit small. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to cut a little bit off. Okay, so I have cut these down on my trimmer. This piece is now 3.5 by 2 1/4, and the designer series paper is 3 3/8 by 2 1/4. And that will give it room to move in here, but it's a little bit bigger than the dies, and I just wanted a little bit more covering there. And it looks like, oh darn, I forgot, this needed to be down a little bit more. Oh, I don't think it'll come up. Nope, we used our Stampin' Seal, so it's going to be there. So when you might want to wait to put your white piece in until after you've cut the hole out, so that you have it in the right spot. Do as I say, not as I do, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere these together. Let's see which direction our clouds go. This way. Okay, now for our flippy flappy parts, let's see, I needed that down a little bit more. Okay, we're good. Okay, so to adhere this, I'm going to use some liquid glue. So I'm just going to put some liquid glue right here, and then center it right on the fold. And go ahead and close it. And then I'm going to fold it in half and add liquid glue on the other side. And go ahead and close this. And this is going to give us our little box. It's going to hold our pop-up up. And then this piece is going to get adhered right here, and then we're going to adhere our piece to it, and this will make it flop. It'll look like it's flopping in the wind. Oh, and it looks like I scored that crooked. Yes, let's give it a little. Okay, I think I've got her straighter now. Okay, so this is going to go right here. And again, I'll use my liquid glue. And I'm not very good at straight or center, so let's hope that's close. And then we'll just put a little bit, dab of glue there. And then we'll put this guy right in here and we'll center it. Let's see. Okay. And now let's put our airplane together. And I'll use liquid glue for this as well. And sometimes on these little pieces, if you can dot it on, I find that it's easier. Oh, and this guy, let's see. I think I did that wrong. Yes, that top one doesn't need glue because it doesn't touch. Let's see, what have I got here to wipe it off? Okay. So I don't need it on the top wing. Mostly on this piece and the wheels. Oh, and we got a little nibbit left in there. There, okay. Let's see if it's dry enough to use our glue eraser. You can see that I use the glue eraser quite a bit because my memory isn't so good. I think I'm going to have to wait until that's dry. Okay, let's just go ahead and put some on here. And on our wheels. And on the tail. Okay, and then we are going to adhere our airplane on here with a couple of dimensionals. So you can see this will open like this, and it kind of gives the gives it the look like it's flying when you open it. So you can leave it open as an easel card, or use it kind of more like a regular card. So if you wanted, you could also add reading on the bottom or the top on this card and some embellishments, but I'm just going to leave this one plain. I kind of like it just as like a little note card maybe. And so if you need any of the supplies or to make this card or any others, I'd feel honored if you would head on over to my store. I've got the address below. Thanks for stopping by at the Roost.